Kia ora whānau, and welcome to another episode of Get a Job and Get Healthy with Costas Enterprises. I am your host, Alex Costas, and as always, you can find me on my social media at the Kiwi Don for Instagram, and also at the Kiwi Don in Twitter. Find me on Facebook, Costas Enterprises Designs. Or on my website, costasenterprises.business.blog, or you can email me at doncostas@gmail.com. That's DON for Nike, COSTAS @gmail.com. So, as today's title sort of suggests, I got a response from TeeSpring. They took about 2 days to reactivate my account, but, and this is the reason for the but, my storefront is completely gone, so my listed items are still there, but they're not actually showing to anything. I have to individually go into each item and make it available, but it doesn't add it to my actual store. So I have to basically create a whole new storefront, which is, that itself only takes, because I already had the resources, only took me about 10 minutes. But as soon as you hit activate on the other products, it doesn't add them to your storefront. So you actually have to add, you can have them sort of sitting in the ether, or alternatively, you actually have to upload again. Now, I'm sort of faced with a dilemma, like whether or not I actually decide to, if I do decide to create the storefront. Well, I've already created the storefront, but whether or not I upload each individual design again. As you guys know, my Redbubble is sitting at about 312 designs on it, and the issue is I would have to effectively upload each one of those individually. And for those that don't know, TeeSpring, even though they've changed their branding, they've changed their names, the one thing that hasn't really changed is the upload process. So it's not a simple process where you can go, right, I want all of the things automatically selected that my product can go on. You have to upload and then click individually each of the products and then change each of the products. So you can't, it's not as streamlined, it's not as easy as Redbubble to upload to Spring. However, the time when it is quite good, as you do get a bit more functionality with the way that you want to do. So if you want to start doing a bit more creative, maybe have text on the side of your arms, for example, you can do that sort of thing in TeeSpring. And you can even do a little bit of creation in TeeSpring as well. So if you don't have access to things like Canva, or you don't want to use Canva, you can do a very basic text creation in TeeSpring, but you're only sort of given like one font and the many different colors. So yeah, I mean, nice for a quickie job, but if you actually want to sell something and be a bit more professional, you'll need to use one of the other programs that can help you design stuff, or even use different fonts that you can do that way. So yeah, now I'm sort of faced with the dilemma of whether or not I decide to make my spring shop more of a niche shop, rather than like my Redbubble, which is just like a general everything shop. And if I do the niche shop, and I could use that as my example, what niche do I pick? What do I go for? Do I create, do I maybe do my Kawaii Pocket Friends all on TeeSpring? Given that they're supposed to be just doing t-shirts or shirts, that would be probably more than ideal. But the issue is you can't just simply go, copy settings and then it automatically copies everything from one to the next item that you want to create. It's not that simple, unfortunately. Like it is in Redbubble, where you can just, if you don't already, what you should be doing is, if you've created a design with maybe similar tags, maybe similar positioning, everything like that, you can actually go into your manage account, where you find all your listings, and then click on the little cog and go to copy settings. And if you open that in a new tab, it will actually open that particular file as a copy, and you can basically edit it there, and everything applies. All the settings, all the colors of the background, all the sizings based on what it is that you're actually trying to upload. If you're uploading them and saving them as the same size as what they were downloaded as in the original one you made the application for, then that will come. So that's quite cool. With Spring, it's a little bit different, where yes, you can resize a bit better, and you can place you definitely have a lot more. You can see a lot more when you are actually trying to resize things, which is a really, really helpful thing with Spring. But the fact that you have to select every individual product, and the way that Spring used to work, or TeeSpring should I say, is if you added those 5, say for example you clicked 5 products, it would add those 5 products just to the bottom of your list, to the top of your list, and so forth. So it means that when people are trying to go through your store, you actually had to favorite one of each of the items, or 2 of each of the items, so that people could see them. And then when they click in the actual product, then they can go, oh, what else is available? And you would have to, if you want to do what we're sort of advised to do by, people like the Money Man and Ryan Hogarth, to have as many products as possible, or many colour variations, it does mean that, your Spring site, or your TeeSpring site, would look like, just one product with 15 products with one design, and then you would have to scroll to find the next product. And so for a customer experience, they're not going to want to see that. They're not going to want to see like 15 of the same product. They're like, oh cool, they got all that, how do I get to the next one? So you had to physically go in and favorite each and every design that you wanted to display at the top. Then everything would sort of get lost in the ether down the bottom. And it's just not done the same way that Redbubble do it. Whereas, like, if you go to a Redbubble shop, if you go to my Redbubble shop, which you can find in the link in the description, then what you'll see all my designs on one product, and then when you click into the product, that's when you then see, hey, this is how many products it is, which Teespring does have that to a degree, but in your storefront it doesn't. And given that now Spring have destroyed my original storefront, I now have to create a new storefront and new listings. I will possibly try to make a decision in the next week on whether or not I decide to go for a more niche type place, in which case then I will upload certain niches. You have to remember also with Teespring, even though they have the trust score and all that sort of stuff, now that they've relaunched a Spring, we don't know if that trust score is still there. I assume it is, and doesn't mean that that's reset. So my trust score's probably gone down. I've only had one view in February, and that was the last sort of view that I had, and it was one of my digital products. Now bear in mind that I have not done much listing or anything really with Teespring in the last couple of months, because I decided to focus more on my Redbubble, given that that's where I've actually been getting sales. And Teespring, yes, the quality is nice of their stuff, but it's very much like you have to drive traffic first before Teespring will promote your business. But now Spring have completely changed, and that they are more now focused on content creation stores. So basically, say for example you're a content creator like someone like Ninja from Fortnite, or The Truth from Dokkan Battle, or Nano from Dokkan Battle. Then you could basically create your own storefront with merch that you're trying to sell, and if you wear that merch, then of course you can, promote it that way on your YouTube, on your Twitch, on your Instagram, all those sorts of things. So they're focusing more on linking those things with Spring, which is a good thing. Like the being able to integrate social media correctly into Spring is really, really good. And they're saying, hey, look, you guys can create your own store, and it is a lot easier to do. But the one thing I will strongly mention is the upload process is not good. So if you're starting out as a content creator and you want to sort of create your own brand, then this might be for you. However, again, you need to make sure, because you're managing your own store, if you're going to do that, you might want to think about adding a new domain. So this is kind of where I'm sort of sitting. Like, if you want, you can. TeeSpring will host your thing on a TeeSpring site, or very soon they're going to be offering the ability to sell domain names, meaning that you will own, like, for example, if I wanted my Costas Enterprise Designs as an actual website as Costas Enterprise Designs, I could get that, or CED, for example, and then that would be stored as a URL, and I would pay the cost of that. Redbubble doesn't have to do that, because you just get a storefront, but it's hosted on Redbubble, on their site. You don't pay for that site. You don't pay anything to Redbubble. Redbubble already takes the money from you anyway when you sell a product, which is things like their manufacturing costs and all that sort of stuff. So with TeeSpring doing this, they're saying, look, you guys can host your own website as well, and then you've also got the ability to, have your own store. And it's kind of like they're trying to mesh the whole drop shipping without officially drop shipping Printify type store with themselves, but with content creators. Now, a lot of content creators are going to be like, oh great, my own store, I always wanted to do that. I think that would really help me grow my brand, and it's all good having it hosted on the TeeSpring site as well, but it'll be like, it would be, your name would be like Costas Enterprise Designs .spring or spring Costas Enterprise Designs, which is not really what you want. Like, if you are spending the money on buying your own URL, then it's going to obviously change. Like, you can buy a URL from like GoDaddy or any of the other places you buy URLs, and then you can sort of add that to your Spring site. Now, that is a good feature. I do like that feature. But what they don't really mention is now you're paying for a Spring print-on-demand site when you could effectively just do the same with Redbubble and make yourself a storefront if you're a content creator, which is not going to cost you anything, and market your products and sell your products there, and you'll have a bit more of a selection. So both. Now, the one thing I have noticed is TeeSpring have some things that Redbubble does not, and they have some pretty cool things that Redbubble does not. So when it comes to you deciding on which one you're going to go for, Redbubble, Spring, if you want to even start up a Spring, the one advantage with Spring is they do digital products. Now, if you were a content creator and maybe you wanted to sell things like filters for Instagram, you could upload your filters and then direct traffic to your filters that way there. So that's quite a cool little thing, and that way you're basically getting instant money for doing bugger all, basically. So yeah, that's one cool thing about Spring with the digital products. But they also have a few more physical products that are different now. So for example, they now do caps, like baseball caps, which, me falling in love with caps. is really cool. It means that I can go, oh, my design can now be woven onto an actual cap, not just printed. So, or you know, if people want like a little barcode, well, a little key ring, you can now create like key rings and all sorts of things. And it used to be that you had to pay for this extra service from TeeSpring to activate it on your site, which was, you know, a bit ridiculous actually. Like you're a print-on-demand site saying we're going to charge you $10 because the people, you know, aren't wanting it, and we have to print it separately and all that sort of thing. But now it's changed so that they've added those products to the site, and they will be keeping, I assume they will keep adding products in the future, and then those products will eventually unlock effectively that you don't have to pay for. But the newer products, because they're going to be testing the market, will take a little bit longer to do. But baseball caps, however, they came late to the party on things like backpacks. They used to have fanny packs, so bean bags, was what we used to call them, bum bags, but they're fanny packs in America, I believe. So they had them first, which Redbubble doesn't have those. And I got to admit, it was quite cool designing for the bum bags. It was a very, very cool sort of niche, and you could get quite a bit of profit if you sold a couple, because of how much the marketing cost was and how much you could effectively sell them for. You could get like $11 to $12 per bean bag. So if you were going to go, you know, back into that sort of niche, you could, and create your own sort of beanbag empire. Bum bag empire, fanny pack empire. Then, you know, that's definitely worth it. So it depends on what it is that you're trying to create, what you're trying to sell. But then again, the issue with Spring is, again, in order for you to, it used to be that you had to get a trust score to generate traffic, organic traffic from their site to your products. Now that they've taken that whole sort of marketplace away effectively, it now means that all of the driving of traffic comes down on you. So I understand why it's perfect for content creators, because you can just be like, hey, pop down to my site down in the bottom of the YouTube, and, you know, get my stuff, get my merch. So in that respect, that makes a lot of sense. But the issue is, otherwise, if you're generating traffic, there's no organic traffic now to a marketplace that you can look at for TeeSpring or Spring. So yeah, I'm dubious of whether or not it's worth my time on doing it. So that's the next sort of thought, and I will keep you guys appraised and updated, of course. I'll let you know whether I decide yes or no. I have activated the site even though it's not actually there, but of course that means now it's a brand new URL. Everything that I create or reactivate is not exactly added to that store, which I think is a bit stupid, but I think that means that I have to now re-upload everything. So with that in mind, I am more thinking that if I do it, I'm not going to upload absolutely everything that I've previously created, but I will try to create things and upload things that are going to be more niched, and effectively create my own niche design and try to drive traffic to that site. That'll be, you know, a little while away. I think I'm sort of more focusing on my Redbubble at the moment, because, as I said, it's a lot easier to do things, and I don't want to be going through every single product going tick, okay, adjust this, tick, okay, adjust this, tick, okay, adjust this. Now that it's in my store, I now need to change this, I need to do this. Like it's there's a lot more maintenance in the Spring site. Just not even the site creation. The site creation is pretty easy. Like it's you know, you're not expecting much. Let's put it this way. You will need to create your own banner. You will need to create your own header, an about section, all that sort of stuff, which, you know, that's pretty standard. And you can get all the dimensions on their website of like what should be a good banner for this, and they'll tell you make your design in Canva or something like that, and then at that particular dimensions, then you do that way. Now, if you haven't done that for your Redbubble, you should actually do that as well. Create a banner, create a thumbnail picture, preferably it actually can look quite cool if you make that thumbnail picture, not the banner, but the thumbnail picture, a transparent image, because then it can sort of meld with your actual banner. So yeah, I mean, if you guys go to my website, my Redbubble, you'll see that. You'll see the banner, you'll see the transparent image, and yeah, it's not the best transparent image. Me holding one of my designs, which was pretty cool. It was one of my first things that I got. But you know, it's still it makes my thing pop a little bit. I am really proud of my banner. I think my banner is quite cool, even though it's, you know, it's a simple design. You could do the same thing. It's basically place it models wearing my products, and of course place it as a free mock-up service, and then just simply removing the background on those place it models and then putting them on the banner was pretty much my idea. I probably will update this at some point in time as well. I just think that, you know, maybe I'll put some new designs, keep it fresh, and then rotate them out every so often, just so people go, oh, hey, that's cool, that's new. If they do come to my shop, they can see different things, basically. Other than that, everything else seems to be going okay. I had a bit of a light bulb moment this week when I was paying off my debt. I put an extra $250 on my debt, meaning that now I'm sort of close to I'm just over $5,000 left to pay, and that means that is one of the first times in like 20 years or 10 years that I will be officially debt free, which just blows my mind. But at the same time, I'm really, really proud of myself, and shocked that I would get to this stage. And of course, a lot of that is due to my partner. I've said that before. She's really, really helped me sort of with all that and getting into it and trying to sell things. But my little light bulb moment came in the vein of seeing how much interest sort of came down just by doing a little bit. So by adding that extra $250 that I pay, I worked out that I basically, and remember that my fortnightly payment is actually $450, so if I was increasing this, it would go up. But my original loan repayment of $26,000 was supposed to be sort of paid back by December this year, 7th of December this year. And that was $26,000. So we're talking 2019. Now, and this is like sort of July 2019 is when I got the loan. Now I've got it down to about August, the 15th of August is when my loan will be officially paid off. If I don't add any extra onto my loan, which I, of course, am going to be adding extra onto my loan so that I can reduce it more. So, yeah, just seeing it drop and drop and drop, and then after looking at last month's statement, last month's statement and this month's statement, I noticed that I dropped off about 2 weeks just for paying that $250, which shocked me, and I was like, wow, I'm only paying $250 extra, and I'm already knocking off like 2 weeks each time of my expected payment date. I also saw that my original interest repaid was going to be around about, $4,000 over the 3 years that I'm supposed to pay this thing off. And yeah, it's sort of dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped. And yeah, now I've only got if I keep on this steady track and I don't pay any more extra, I'll only have about $350 worth of interest. So of course, seeing that interest go down quite considerably, and knowing that I can pay everything off. So yeah, that's my goal at the moment, is basically try to make as much as I can, sell anything I can, and also just get that debt out so that I can start doing positive things for my future. which is the whole point. I want to have a future that is positive for once. So yeah, still doing the plant-based, enjoying it. On that, everything's coming up, Alex. Doing really well, really happy at the moment. Bit tired. I was a bit sick the last couple of days, but other than that, yeah, I think everything's going really well. As always, feel free to contact me. You got all my contact details at the start and in the description. I love you guys. Look after yourselves, and yeah, have a great week, guys. Sorry the episode's a little bit late, by the way. And as always, good luck.